Welcome to the making of a DM. The trick I use to turn my dreams to my reality. And the best part is, you can copy it. So with that said, let's get started.
I'm more Kevin Steele. I'm more Kevin Steele. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question more Kevin's when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evans, DM. If I sound a little goofy today, because I got something going on with my voice and sinuses or something like that. Anyways, I'm sitting here in beautiful Parkland, Florida. Today's show, before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you that took a couple minutes to leave a 5-star review. Most importantly, if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to the last episode, but messaging me privately of how important and how powerful the making of the DM show is for you in your life. It really gives me and encourages me, guys. I mean, again, I'm here for free. Actually, sort of for free. What I mean by that is you got to pay the piper. You can either send me some money or simply share it for free on social media or to a buddy or a friend or someone you care about that you want to connect with and help them up-level their game in their life with knowledge. And that's the gentleman's agreement, as they say, right? So I'm old school. It's amazing. We live in a world today where literally anything you want is at your fingertips. And today's an interesting day. I have a lot of cool stuff going on. I got a lot of shitty stuff going on too, but that's called life. We all do. And I wanted to share with you a trick that I've used to turn my dreams into a reality. I'll try to keep this a little shorter. I don't think it's going to go 45, 60 minutes, but it might seem a little hokey pokey to you. It may or may not make sense to you depending where you're at in the season or journey of your life. But this is applicable to every single person listening to my voice. And it's something I do at least an hour a day, minimum an hour a day. And I'm talking 7 days a week. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I think back in 2006-ish, a show came out called The Secret. And that show brought a lot of insights and realization to people that the mindset, and if you can dream it, you can achieve it. If you can touch it, see it, feel it, smell it, it becomes closer. And I was on that train a long time ago. See, I grew up in small town, Ohio, 650 people, no cops, no stoplights. I got in trouble before I did something wrong because that's just how small the town was. The neighbors were calling my parents telling them what I did before I even did it, right? And I used to literally, and I've talked about this before, but I'm just trying to think about this today. It hit me on my walk today. I was walking for an hour today, and it hit me as like, I live in a pretty crazy life. I have a lot of amazing things. Like the life I live today is something I used to dream about in 1995, 96. See, I used to get in my shitty S10, drive around town, go to the nice areas, Upper Arlington and Columbus, Ohio is where I used to drive around. And I would literally drive up and down the street to the point it almost, the cops would get called. They think I'm stalking, right? Because there's a weirdo in the neighborhood. I would just drive and stop in front of a house and like, I'm going to have that house one day. Who do I need to become to get into that house? Now, I know already some people are thinking, dude, I'm not materialistic. Well, this isn't about materialistic. If you follow what I'm going to share with you today, it's way bigger than the materialistic aspect. That's what's always crazy. Like even watches, I like watches and nice houses and cars and all that stuff, but I'm way more deep. I have a lot more depth than just materialistic things. But the true fact is that shit gets me excited. I like nice things. These are my trophies. I don't need fucking someone every day to give me a gold star and say, good job, Mark. I set big goals for myself. I have to accomplish those goals to accomplish a trophy, i.e. a watch or a car or a house or, whatever I'm working on at that time. So when you see something, this in the beginning stages, I didn't understand that's how real life worked. But I used to be broke, very broke. And my goal, as you know, was to make $100,000 a year. $100,000. That was like my dream in my company. That was gross, by the way. That wasn't even net. My goal was to make $100,000 a year in my seamless gutter company. And I had zero clue how to do that because I didn't know anybody that did it. So I bought that company 2 days after high school, owner financing, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know where I would be, truthfully, if this TV show didn't exist called The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. When I was 7, 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, sitting in a trailer court, I literally would be sitting in a trailer watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous on a big screen TV, those huge ones, those big boxy ones. We had a big screen TV, by the way. It was pretty wild to live in a trailer and have a TV. It cost that much money then. But I'd watch it, and I'd see the guy drive in the Ferrari 308 or the 512 Testarossa, white. Or I'd see them landing in the backyard in a helicopter. I'd see a mega mansion with a crazy owner talking to Robin Leach about how they created this wealth. I never looked at that and said, I can't do that. Ever. I oftentimes would ask myself, all the time actually, how do I get that? How do they do that? I got curious. And one thing that's interesting, I've talked about this in the book, Magician vs. Mule. People always talk about, well, curiosity killed the cat. Okay? Curiosity. Everyone I know that's successful is very curious about growth, hacks, opportunity. We're very curious. I'm very curious. I want to know. I'm curious about how it works. And this is something you have to learn about if you're not thinking like this. Thought auditing. When you see someone that has something that you want, do you discount it? Do you get angry? Or do you get excited? And do you ask yourself questions on the positive like, what do I need to create to accomplish that? How do I get that? I want to go say hi to that individual and connect with them and see what they do. I always thought rich people, whatever that meant, but back then it was about materialistic things because I didn't know any better. I always thought rich people were mean, rude, disrespectful, not nice, rip people off, because that's what I was fed my entire life through verbal words, right? My parents, my grandparents, my uncle, they weren't doing it maliciously or negative back then. It's just how they talked. So I'm not being negative about it. It's just how it was. But I'm an adult and I wanted to get what they want to. Like, I don't understand. This is one thing I learned early on. I don't listen to people that don't have what I want. So, for example, if I was trying to lose weight, I'm not listening to the 400-pound guy telling me how to lose weight. If I want to get massively wealthy in a company and have $1 billion organization, I'm not listening to the employee that makes $50,000 a year that gave up on his dreams or didn't have the balls to take action or makes up all the excuses of why they can't do it. I want to meet the individuals that's accomplished where I want to be. That's why masterminds and mentorship groups actually work. It's not necessarily about the knowledge, even though that helps, obviously. It's about getting around other individuals or where you want to be and retooling your identity of where you're at to where you're going. You already know where you're at. Just look, you're there. Ta-da. But where are you going? And I get it. I remember sitting in an efficiency apartment on, I think it's first or second, I don't remember now, in Columbus, Ohio. No electric, no gas, cold water. I was taking cold showers before it was a cool thing. And literally I could take a shower, take a shit, and make food at the same exact time. That's how small this place was. I got books at the library. I'd read books under candlelight of how to be successful, how to get to the next step. I had tough times. I got cocky in the business. I thought I knew how to do everything. I did everything. I bottlenecked everything. I was great at making money, terrible at collecting it because I thought everyone paid their bills. That's not the case in business. If you don't invoice them, they don't pay. I promise you that. And I almost lost everything, but I didn't lose this. And I didn't lose my heart. I didn't lose my desire. Not saying get kicked in the nuts, punched in the throat a couple times, but I always, even in those dark times, I would drive around Upper Arlington, go up and down the waterways, like check out the big houses. I'd go into new construction areas and think, who do I need to become? What do I need to read? What do I need to learn? Who do I need to become to get in that house? How long will it take me? I like the cars. I like the houses, right? I like all the charity stuff we do. I like the watches. I just like that kind of stuff that motivates me. Find what motivates you. And as a dad now and a husband and a person that provides for their family at all levels, many levels, don't you want to provide the best house? Don't you want to provide the best financial security, fuck you all around you as you can? Don't you want to, and I'm talking to guys and gals, all that. It's not about he or she. It's about the person that's driving this beast, you. Don't you want the best to provide? I take care of a lot of people. I'm most proud of that now. But if I didn't have the cars, the houses, and the watches that I want, I might have quit. See, that's all hokey pokey stuff like, think and grow rich. Well, you can think all you want, but you got to think, take massive fucking action. Don't ever stop to get rich. That's the real truth of that book. But these masterminds and these mentorship groups that I've belonged to, I've always known that people had the cheat code of life. And that's get around people actually doing it and understanding it, talking to them and realizing that they're no smarter than you or I. The truth is why I like the making of the DM, listening to my voice, is you realize I can barely speak. I trip up on my words all the time. I'm messing up every second of the day, just like we all are. I'm not acting like I know anything. Truth is, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything at all. I still have mentors I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to, right? You should too, eventually have that and more. I know it's the hack. A new mentor I have is worth several $1 billion, and I pay him a lot of money for 90 minutes a month, a lot in dollars. But it's a steal for the wisdom, the energy, the effort, and the connections that this individual has. Priceless. It's a massive investment. So The Secret, that movie that came out in 2006 I was talking about, like, it's a great movie. If you haven't watched it, they did a book as well. It's just a great insight of learning how to vision board. I've talked about this. I didn't get my first Rolls Royce until I was 30 years old. I could have bought it prior to that, maybe a couple years prior, 27-ish. But from 1996 to that point, I was in different cars, and every time I got in my Chevy truck, windows down, CD player in the car with the rubber band around it, listening to Tony Robbins or whatever motivational thing I was listening to, and smoking a cheap cigar, like those 5 cigars you get at the grocery store for like $5 or whatever, that was a lot of money for me back then. And this thing was burning a quarter oil a day minimum. I'd be driving down Route 70 with my hair down. That's when I had hair. And the wind blowing through it. I swear on my life, there's not one person that could have been in that car with me and said, dude, you are not in a Rolls Royce Phantom right now. I was in it before I ever got it. I was in the mansions before I ever owned one. I knew what my office looked like before I ever got the office I wanted. I had the backyard pool before I ever was in my backyard pool. I was visualizing it. I already had pictures. I already knew what it looked like, right? Where I come from, the backyard pool is a 5-foot round pool. It's blue. It's about 10 inches tall. You'd fill it up with ice cold water out of the hose as you're drinking water out of the hose. That's good water right there, by the way. And that's what we did. That was a big treat for us where I come from. Lifestyles and the Rich and Famous was my Instagram. I grew up in that small town of 650 people. If I did not have Lifestyles and the Rich and Famous, how would I know there was another level? How would I know that everyday people just like me could accomplish something so crazy over the top? How? When I turned 18 years old, I learned about an amazing place called Barnes & Noble. I would literally sit in Barnes & Noble for hours a day in between jobs. I'd sit in there and just read DuPont Registry, read Make Money at Home books, magazines, right? I'd visualize me in the Ferrari 3, back then it was the 348, the 308, the 512, then all these cars, right? That's what I like. And then the houses, DuPont Registry with the houses. I'd vision the mansions. I'd go to the pages in the back where it had the 4 pages of all the mansions. 13 million, 18 million, 22. My mind's like, how the fuck is this even possible? But you're going to get there, Mark. This is why I do yacht trips. This is why I do jet experiences with people, because my job is to break your frame. When you get there and touch it, feel it, see it, smell it, enjoy it, and realize that you can have it and be you, certain things start happening differently. You start having an identity shift of what's possible in this very short time out on planet Earth. You start realizing that they built that fucking yacht for someone. Why not you or I? They built the jet for someone. Why not you or I? They built these mansions for someone. Why not you or I? Why? Every single person I know that's accomplishing big things in life has their things that drive them daily. See, as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of lonely days. A lot. But it's what we signed up for. Success is a journey, not a destination. Let me repeat that. Success is a journey, not a destination. I meet people that are worth $100+ million and they feel like they aren't doing anything. They feel like they're just getting started. And then I meet the guy or gal that's makes $100,000 a year and they're like, dude, it's so lonely at the top. I'm like, dude, if you think a fucking $100,000 is at the top, you're in the wrong, you're on an anthill, homie. Top of an anthill at best. That shows me that their circle is delusional. When I was 18 years old, I used to go in my $100 JCPenney suit. I've talked about this. I'd go to the Hyde Park in Columbus, Ohio. I'd sit at the bar and order a Sprite with a lime to make it look like I was drinking. I was not even old enough to drink. I'd go in there by myself and spend many, many days, a year in there, many days, just to hear how rich people talk, how successful people look. I started realizing that not everyone that's successful and rich wears a suit. That was my preconceived notion. I thought that's how it looked. I thought rich people listen to opera music only. When I was driving in my car back in the day, going to job sites, I'd be listening to opera or my motivational, smoking these cigars. I thought that's what rich people did. True story. I learned so much in those times about myself, about being unique, about realizing if every day I show up, whatever I want will be possible. It won't be easy, but it'll be simple. There's a lot of people in our lives. Typically, your closest people in your life will tell you, stop dreaming. Get a real job. When are you going to stop fucking playing around and go be a big boy one day? That's not for you. That's for them. That could never happen in our life. We weren't blessed like that. These are people that's supposed to be protecting you, right? I've heard it all. Us entrepreneurs have to be mentally prepared to go against the grain. Your reality of how you grew up is not the reality of how you will live your life if you want to really live a different life. That doesn't mean you have to abandon and, tell your parents, F you, I never want to talk to you. It's not that. But you do have to evolve. A long time ago, I invested some money in to go to this charity event. And like I talked about, this $38 million mansion, I stepped foot on the ground. I'm dead. I have pictures of it. It's me in white pants and a pink shirt. This is way before pink shirts were cool. And I stepped foot on that ground and it changed my life. I can be in this house one day. I met the guy buying it. I'm like, I am not. This guy's no smarter than I am. I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to do all this stuff. And I think you listening to my voice are willing to do the work, or you would never listen to a show like this. The problem is most people listening to my voice are doing the work on all the small things, on all the wrong things. Not all, but a lot of the wrong things that will never do. Like, dude, you can work as hard as you want on small problems. It's never going to create a big solution. You got to go solve the big problems to get the big results. We all do. And I know I'm talking a lot about mansions and jets and how all this stuff, cars and watches, whatever. But the truth is, like I said, that's what motivated me. I still like that shit. I have a crazy amount of cars. I barely drive them. Barely. Literally. I probably put more miles when I'm in Florida on my golf cart than I do any of my cars. True story. But I love having them. I love sitting in my garage, looking at the Ferrari, multiple rolls. Like today, this is not bragging about it. This is true. I have 3 Rolls Royces. It's fucking stupid. I can't drive 3 at the time, but I love them. I like looking at them. I like what they stand for me. If you got a problem with that, that's on you, not me, by the way. I always had people in my life tell me, you don't need 3 cars. Okay, well, fuck. You don't need a car at all. None of us need this shit. We want it. The time I was in Georgia, I pulled up in the Rolls getting gas, and a lady starts preaching to me about God and all that. I'm all about God, but don't use God as your way to try to make someone feel like a piece of shit. Oh my God, you know how many kids you could feed with that car? I do. Fed lots of kids. Where the car was made, these people made this car. There's lots of employees in that company that have children. Don't make their weakness your weakness. I use it as fuel, by the way. I got a chip on my shoulder with people like that because they ruin people's lives if they allow them to. Many of you listening to my voice have let so many people in your life tell you how you should live your life. Well, once you get awake about this situation and learn that you're in full control of your destiny, again, it sounds hokey pokey. I promise you this shit works. I spend still today at least an hour, bare bones, on Realtor.com, on all these crazy car sites. I mean, there's so many now, DuPont Registry, et cetera, looking at amazing cars, $5 million cars, $30 million auction website for cars, 1,000-acre houses with, multiple facilities with horses and cattle and in Montana to all over the world, right? Like, everywhere. Italy, I want to buy an amazing place in Italy, maybe. Who knows? Like, how do I buy 5 houses worth $50 million each? You guys do know when you go down A1A, and you can ask my wife, this is what I asked her for my birthday one year. She's like, what do you want? I don't need anything, but here's what I want. I would like to know on A1A from North Palm Beach all the way down to Manalapan, who owns all these houses? Who are they? And what do they do? These are houses. These are lots. These are 2-acre lots that go for $40 million. These houses go from $50 to $120 million. Houses. People are buying $30 million properties and tearing them down and building their dream home. It's wild, right? See, when you see this, I've put thousands of hours going up and down A1A since 2005. Smoking a cigar with the top down, and I know pretty much who lives in all these houses. I know what they do. I know what kind of businesses they own. And again, I'm not taking anything away from them. They all are crushing it, but it gives me hope. It gives me direction on who I need to become, what I need to build to get into these houses. A lot of these houses, like, you understand, just the taxes alone on these houses are like $1 million a year. The average person that owns these houses have 3 of the same type of houses in 2 or 3 different countries, right? From the staff to the taxes. I mean, we're talking tens of millions of dollars a year just to run the 3 houses. And then not counting all their private jets, and then all their yachts, and then all the other stuff they have. But then you start looking deeper, like they started off just like you and I 45 years ago. They started a hairline product company. There's one lady in particular. They started a hairline company, her and her husband. Her husband passes away. They're worth, $1.8 billion. They sold it to a big brand. And now she's just enjoying life, doing a lot of charity stuff. Again, I know a lot of you are listening and hearing me talk about all these things, like materialistic things. But I want to stress to you, I give a lot of money to charity. I want to give more. I take my family on amazing life experiences. Actually, in April, I'm taking my wife, my kids, her brother, her sister, his family, and her father on a trip of a lifetime to Hawaii. These are 6-figure trips. I love doing shit that's over the top. I love it. If you've ever been to my events, I don't skimp out. I invest. My job as a leader and someone that's been there, done that, I can do whatever I want. But what I love to do is to help people break their frames so they can grow their environment. Because when you grow, everything you care about grows. You grow your financial, you grow your health, you grow your wealth, you grow your children. Like, your kids are watching you, your cousins and uncles and brothers and friends and colleagues. You grow, we all grow together. I like to be a part of that. See, inside of the DM Alliance, our $1,000 a month group, we have amazing, badass people, and they're doing amazing stuff. We talk about stuff like we're talking about now. We talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We talk about business extraction, revenue generation. If you're not in a room where people are making millions of dollars a month, let alone millions of dollars a year on the norm, you need to get in those rooms ASAP. You can't be hanging out trying to figure out how to make millions of dollars a year in a room where the leader's making $300,000 a year. It's not going to fucking work out well for you. They're actually stealing from you, taking your money, promising you something they don't even know how the fuck to do it. I see it all the time. But don't think this is hokey pokey. This is a trick I used and still use to turn my dreams into reality. I have everything I want and more because of this. And if you saw me before, there's no way in hell, if you saw me back in 96, you would ever think I'm at where I'm at today. See, a lot of people can fake it, show cool shit. I'm telling you, man, I grind it out every day. Every day, I'm in the trenches. I'm just working on bigger stuff, different stuff now. I'm not putting the ladders up, going on the roofs like I used to, but I'm creating projects where we have 80 people putting ladders and going up on the roof. And we're inspiring them to become the owner of that company and do it. Like, there's so much more we can do as a collective. So there's 2 things I ask you. 1, actually maybe more than 2. 1, if you're not in the DM Alliance, why not? If $1,000 a month is a lot of money to you, that's a problem. Because just getting in a room for $12,000 a year with people that are crushing it. By the way, February 28th and March 1st, depending when you're listening to this, of 2023, we'll be in Fort Lauderdale for two amazing things. One, we're doing a DM Alliance meetup. There'll be 100 plus people there. And then the night before, we're actually doing the premiere. I actually have a documentary coming out 16 months later from when we started it, called From Trailer Park to Millions. I grew up in a trailer park. I'm not knocking it. That's where I grew up. It is what it is. It made me who I am today. See, some people are still living in that trailer park, making excuses, complaining, and telling me to come back down to reality. Why don't all you care about is this or that? Dude, you don't even know what the fuck I care about, right? I recently did a post where I'm talking about, about money and, how it's important. And then this lady's like, yeah, but, most people have money are very unhappy. Huh? Is that most people in the world in general? If you have money or no money? See, the thing is, you talk shit like that, you'll never have fucking money. By the way, these are the same people, when something bad happens in their life, they go throw up a GoFundMe page to help them. Because they didn't prepare. They don't believe their own bullshit. They bought into it. Right? So, again, I digress. But hit me up on Instagram at Mark Evans DM and say DM Alliance. I'll hook you up with someone on my team, have a conversation, see if it's a fit for you. It is a fit for you if you're a business owner, you're looking to scale, you're looking to grow. You don't have to have a huge business, but you need help. You want to be around people talking about real shit, right? Hey, man, my marketing's broke. Hey, man, I need help here. Hey, I'm shipping in 20,000 units. Here's what it looks like. Hey, man, I just bought a new company. Hey, I need funding on a deal. Here's what's going on. Here's what it looks like. Here's how it makes money, etc. Hey, I'm having hiring challenges. All the above. This group is not for everybody. It's for somebody that wants to take their life and grow it. It's called the DM Alliance. Private message me at Mark Evans DM on Instagram. DM Alliance if you're interested. There's no commitment. I might not even take you. I don't know your story yet, but message me and we'll connect. Secondly, if you do connect before February 28th, you'll obviously be invited down here to Fort Lauderdale to be a part of an amazing experience. We have an amazing facility we're doing the event at, right on the ocean in Fort Lauderdale. We have, like I said, the premiere party, and then we have an all-day event, and I have two amazing guys worth many, many nine figures coming to speak and share their knowledge and insight. Nothing to buy. It's straight content and execution. And then that night, we're going to have a pretty cool party, a Mardi Gras party, where we all get to connect, deepen relationships, talk about life. And what I like to do is I like to create experiences. I like to connect with you guys. I'm in this game for relationships. Yes, we'll make a little bit of money, but the real money's made on the longevity of the relationship for all of us. So if this is something that interests you, hit me up on Instagram at Mark Evans DM and just say DM Alliance. I'd like to talk to you. But I do want you to understand something. I was dreaming big when I was broke. Truth is, I'm broke today with where I'm going in the future. I don't use my brokenness to break me and create excuses. I use it as fuel to encourage me, to guide me. I have to dream. What drives you? What is on your vision board? I have a lot of staff, a lot of members, a lot of amazing people in my life that if I don't show up, it affects their dreams, their goals, their life. Do you? That's what drives me now. The bigger I dream, the more I can accomplish, not just by magic, but I have to fucking do the work. But it just expands my brain. Expands it. See, I don't think most of you've stretched yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. You might think you do, but I would bet you don't, most of you. See, when I do the yacht trips, it's $5,000 for the day. There's 12 people on that yacht. I've never, ever had anyone say, dude, that was a waste of time and money. The truth is, the majority come back multiple times. Wonder why? Their businesses are bigger the third time than when they came the first time. Coincidence? I've done multiple jet trips where it's anywhere from $5,000 to $12,000 a person. We've had people do this multiple times as well. Wonder why? See, pay attention to patterns. Is it scary the first time? 100%. It's meant to be scary. Maybe $1,000 a month is scary to you. That's okay. It's meant to be scary. If it doesn't scare you, you're probably not even putting enough attention to it anyways. See, how can you dream big and do big things in life if you think what you're doing is big already? I don't know anybody in my circle, and from the outside looking in, you're like, dude, these guys are fucking doing big shit. But I promise you, when we're talking in the masterminds and the meetings, we all haven't accomplished anything to where we're going. Success is a journey, not a destination, my friend. I know it. I know you're like, dude, by 45, I'm going to retire, I'm going to sell, I'm going to be rich. Bullshit. It's not happening. Dude, I know people that's sold their company for $600 million. He lost his best friends, his workers with him, he worked with. He lost his company. He sold it. He already could do whatever he wanted to do inside the money he already had coming in. Now he has $600 million. Like, dude, he has purpose, drive, goals. What do you got? You better have a plan. If not, your next 12 months, 24 months, 20 years, 30, like, dude, you're dead in the water. You're just walking around wasting breath. Don't wait until you got the money to dream big. Dream big to get the money to dream bigger. It doesn't stop. I literally could buy, true story, anything I want. Anything. I can't stop dreaming. I haven't even started on where I'm going. I'm broke for where I'm going. I want to give back to charity at hundreds of millions of billions of dollars. Not just with my dollars, but with my voice and my reach. So much more than just you. I want to take my family on bigger vacations, bigger life experiences. I want to know if something bad happens tragically to someone in my family, I can help them out, relieve the pressure of stress with financial means. Don't say money doesn't make you fucking happy. I'm real fucking happy when I can pay someone's bills that's going through a really bad situation and they don't have the means to pay their bills. I'm telling you this. Don't listen to people that aren't where you fucking want to be. Ever. If you do, you're losing the game of life. They're stealing from you and you're allowing it. They can say whatever they want, but if they don't have what you want, it holds zero fucking weight. Oh, Mark, when are you going to grow up and get a real job? Motherfucker, what does that mean? Do you like your job? No. Okay, well, I like what I do. I make more than you do, and I'm only getting started, and you're telling me to get a real fucking job? Yeah, man, but it's not sure. There's a lot of stuff. Blah, blah. Dude, shut the fuck up. It's going on everywhere. Take your face off of Instagram and get to work. I want you looking at things that drive you, get you excited. Things that are going to get you when you're in a storm, you're going to weather them because you're going, like, subconsciously, you're just driving to that. I even told my wife when I got back from my walk today, my son, do you understand, like, where I'm at today? Just pay attention. You don't have to listen, just watch. hang up the fucking wherever you're listening to me at, and go and come back 5 years later, I will be 10 times bigger, 100 times bigger with my reach, financially, everything. It doesn't happen by accident, for God's sakes. But I told her, I'm like, the reason most people don't do this is because it takes time for your efforts to catch up with your results. Every day I wake up, I'm fucking working towards my goals. Are you? No, I'm talking really fucking working. Not thinking, not planning, not talking to people about my dreams and goals that don't even have dreams and goals, but I'm talking fucking massive execution. How many calls have you made today to make a sell? How many conversations have you had about money and growing it? How many people have you talked to about hiring to bring in your organization? How many people have you talked about sharing your vision of where you're at and where you're going that are on the same page, the same team? That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. How many emails have you sent out globally? How many text messages? How many conferences? How many meetings? What are you doing all fucking day? Don't get mad when you wake up 12 months from now and you're further behind the 8 ball. Focus. You got this. I get it. Stop watching Netflix. Stop watching all that bullshit. Dream. Build a bigger dream. Build a bigger vision. 100K is not that. 1 million's not that. 10 million's not that. 100 million's not that. I'm using dollars because you're here to learn about how to make money. Take the money and do all the good you want with it. I don't care if you want to save the fucking wells or save children or whatever you want to do. There's trillions with a T of dollars out there. Find a big problem and solve it. Solve your problem. Solve other people's problems. Solve everyone's problems. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. I implore you to watch and pay attention because I ain't fucking around over here. We have a lot of really cool stuff going on, and I don't even really talk about it. Why? Because I'm actually too fucking busy doing it. If you only knew, true story, what we're up to behind the scenes. This documentary comes out February 28th. I haven't even really talked about it. It's been a lot of moving parts to get to this point. It'll be a 6-figure event. Cost me over $100,000 to throw an event to connect with people. Man, but you're just doing it for the money. Motherfucker, it doesn't even cost you any money. It's part of the gig. Find out who you're rolling with. Roll with the right people. And win with winners. Winners win, baby. Every winner I know keeps winning. Unfortunately, most people are rolling around with a bunch of fucking turds, wondering why they can't get results. They're playing small. They're talking small. They're acting small. And at the end of the day, they live small. Don't be that person. I want you to be the person that you know you're capable of being in the future. Dream when you're broke. Build when you're broke. Like, just connect subconsciously to what you want. Don't share with anybody that's below your vision. Share it with big group. Like, get in the DM Alliance. Share your vision. Do we have people making $1 million plus a month in there? In their 20s? It's now or never. February 28th. Hopefully I see some of you guys and gals there. If you're not in the DM Alliance and you want to check it out, hit me up. DM Alliance at Mark Evans DM on Instagram. I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you. And I promise you, I'm just getting started. Make today count. Peace.
I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it. To discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker. But I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM Project. From a small town in Ohio, so I know how it is. Did not come from a lot of money. I remember as a kid, wanted to make 100 racks. Didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8. They should have held me back. I hold my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss, I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all, and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose, yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm more Kevin's DM. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it. To discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm more Kevin DM. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. DM project.
This is the podcastfactory.com.